What would the current average sale price look like in Halifax, Nova Scotia if the COVID-19 pandemic never happened? Well, that's a great question. So, when looking at 2019 to 2023, our sale prices have exploded here in Halifax. And in 2019, we had an average sale price of just under $320,000. And now looking ahead to year-to-date numbers for 2023, we're sitting at just under $563,000. So in that time period, we're talking about an increase of almost $244,000, which equates to 76.4% increase in that time frame from 2019 to 2023. So in today's video, I'm going to share my thoughts about where the average sale price will be sitting in the Halifax real estate market currently in 2023 if the COVID-19 pandemic never happened. But before I get into it, I'd love to hear what you think. Comment below, where do you think the sale price would be sitting right now in 2023 if the pandemic never happened? And if you're new here, my name is Andrew Stevens, and I've been a realtor in Halifax for 9 years now. And if you're looking to be educated on the Halifax real estate market, then this is the channel for you. So go ahead and hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. And if you're looking to make a move in Halifax, or if you want to chat to me about the current market conditions, you can reach out to me anytime in the Calendly link below in my description at a time when it's convenient for you. So getting right back into it, I'm going to dive deeper into the numbers here, and make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to give my opinion of where those average sale prices would be sitting. And like I mentioned, since 2019, we've increased almost $250,000 in that time frame. So here's what the last 5 years look like from 2018 to 2023, just for some reference. In 2018, our average sale price was $301,979, which was up 2% from the year previous in 2017. In 2019, we were sitting at $319,195, which was up 5.7% from 2018. And then we saw a huge increase of 15.8% in 2020 to $369,508. And this 15.8% increase was the largest increase that we've seen since 1980 in the HRM. And then moving on to 2021, we saw another massive increase of 26.1%, which put us at about $465,904 for an average sale price across the HRM. And then in 2022, we were at $541,746, which was another large increase of 16.3%. And again, if we ended the year today, we'd be sitting just under $563,000, which would have us up about 5.1% for the year if the year ended today across the HRM. Now, before this, our market was pretty stagnant for quite some time, and from 2013 to 2019, we saw less than a 3% growth year over year in that time period. And it's interesting because in 2019, before the pandemic, we actually saw a pretty good increase. So the question is, what was happening here? So I'm going to talk about three main points. I'm going to talk about new listings coming to the market, I'm going to talk about listing inventory, and I'm going to talk about total sales during this time frame. For starters, we were seeing a massive decline in new listings coming to the market. So from 2008 to 2016, we saw over 10,000 listings hit the market each year. And as you can see here, it was extremely consistent each year in the HRM during this period. And then things started to decline in 2017, and by 2019, we were seeing only about 8,500 new listings per year. And with that, our listing inventory level started to decrease as well, meaning the gap between supply and demand was shrinking. In 2014, we had 11 months of listing inventory, and this was a major buyer's market. Now by 2018, this was almost cut in half, and we were down to about 6 months of listing inventory. And then in 2019, we were down another 2 months to 4 months of listing inventory. And as all this was happening, we were seeing an increase in sales as well from 2014 to 2019. And as you can see here, we had just under 4,800 sales in the HRM in 2014. And this was increasing each year. And in 2019, we were up to just over 6,700 sales. So this would be a 41% increase in sales per year in HRM from 2014 to 2019. So to recap, from 2014 to 2019, we were seeing a decrease in new listings, which brought forth a decrease in listing inventory, and we were seeing a larger number of total sales, and this basically caused that gap between supply and demand to decrease, bringing us back to a more balanced market in the HRM. Remember, this was all pre-pandemic. And during this time frame, we saw a huge increase in population as well. So from 2016 to 2021, we were the fastest growing downtown core in Canada, which added a lot of excess demand on our market as well. Now, if I look at the historic numbers since 1980, even if I take out the last few years, so I'll bring it from 1980 to 2019, we saw an average price growth year over year of 5% per year in the HRM. So if I look at these numbers and we start off in 2019 at $319,195, that means that by the time we got to 2023, as 5% year over year compounding growth, we'd be sitting just under $403,000 for an average sale price right now in 2023. So again, this is with an average growth over those 39 years, and that's using that number to determine this price point here in 2023 of what it could have been. Now, let's say that the growth was really hot and we saw a lot of big years here in Halifax, as our market looked like it was trending this way anyway. So let's use 7% per year for this number, and that would put us at, over that 4-year period, that we ended up at $418,400 here in 2023. And this 7% growth year over year compounding growth would be a pretty big number, because out of that 39-year period that I mentioned from 1980 to 2019, that would be only 10 of those years that had 7% price growth per year or higher. So this is a pretty big number. And let's say that that number was even greater at 9%, which would be a huge year-over-year growth, historically speaking, in our Halifax real estate market. That would put us at a price point in 2023 of just over $450,000. So again, still a very big difference from our almost $563,000 that we're seeing today. So no matter how you chalk it up and no matter how you run the numbers, it's no secret that the COVID-19 pandemic really had a huge impact on our real estate market here in Halifax, not only with the population growth that we saw from people moving from out of country or out of province, but also all the other things that it caused, such as the supply chain issues and construction constraints and so on. But no matter how you break it down, it probably affected our market somewhere in the realm of $110,000 on the average sale price to about $160,000 on the average sale price, which is a huge, huge number. Now, in my opinion, I think we'd be somewhere about the middle of this, around that 7% price growth year over year, which would have us sitting right around $418,000, $420,000. So in my opinion, the COVID-19 pandemic added about $140,000 to our average sale prices here in Halifax over a 4-year span, which again is really hard to wrap your head around. It's a huge, huge number, and it's affecting a lot of Haligonians who are looking to purchase homes. Now, if you're still here watching, I would love to hear your opinion of this and how much it affected it. And I don't see these price points returning to pre-pandemic levels ever, to be honest, but I'm curious to hear what you think of how much the pandemic affected the real estate market. And if you got any value out of this video, all I ask is that you hit that like button and you hit that subscribe button, and that way you don't miss any of my future content, and that'll help push this out to more people like you who may be interested in being educated in the Halifax real estate market. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your support, and have a great day.